Welcome back to another episode of the Burn Factory podcast.
They taught me a lesson to never be satisfied and always separate myself. It doesn't matter what I think. It's the lasting impression that you leave.
You're gonna bring back the goatee?
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm different, man. No telling. Next time I see you guys, I might be
Full beard out.
Any city, everywhere I've been, if they needed help, that's my community.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Burn Factory podcast. I'm your host, Priest, joined by my co-host, my brother, the one and only Phoenix. Say what's up to the camera.
What's up, y'all?
This is called the Burn Factory for a reason. I was literally caught on fire. 50% chance of surviving. And through that, I started this podcast because I believe every single person out there on this planet has a burn moment somewhere in their life.
On our podcast, we do something a little different. You will hear me and Priest and our guests say burn moment. And a burn moment is a time in your life that you had to ultimately get through. And if you didn't, you probably wouldn't be where you are today. But Priest, our guest, definitely plays baseball better than both of us. So let's get into him. He played baseball at the University of Miami. He played 15 years in the MLB. 15 years. That's literally basically your entire life.
That's almost my whole life.
He's a 4-time All-Star. He won the Silver Slugger Award in 1998. And to top it off, he's in the Milwaukee Brewers Wall of Fame. Wow. He does it all.
So many analytics. Jeez.
Yeah, but let's say what's up to Greg Vaughn.
Hey, what's up, folks? Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Of course.
That introduction was all right.
I know. We try to give you a lot of love. You did a lot in life, so we gotta show that to our audience.
I know you forgot to say first person ever to hit 50 home runs and get traded.
Oh, I was saving that. I was saving that. But yeah, God, that must have been like, how did you handle that? Especially from the Padres. Like, that kind of sucks being from San Diego that they would trade you after such a good year.
Yeah, it was tough at that time because, we get to the World Series, we become so close. We just wanted another run with that group of guys.
Yeah.
And to be told you're not going to get traded, and then to wake up and have Marge Schott, rest in peace, call me at like probably 4:30 a.m. California time. Greg, this is Marge Schott, honey. I just want to tell you, you got traded to the Cincinnati Reds.
Oh.
I thought I was having a nightmare. You know what I mean? And because, like I said, I felt like I'd done everything I could to stay there. I mean, what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And once again, it's not about life being fair, but it's like, here we go again. But after that trade, I had some of the funnest baseball I've ever had in Cincinnati. Some of the best friends I've ever met, and lifelong friendships, partnerships, fantasy league players. You know what I mean? It's everything happens for a reason. You know what I mean? And I started to question his reason for a minute, but then after the selfishness got out of the way, I had a great time, and we had a great year in '99.
So I'm assuming that's a burn moment right there of you getting traded to the Cincinnati Reds from the Padres. What is it like, though, in a trade process? Like,
I really don't know. That was the first time it ever happened, and it happened at like 4:30 in the morning my time. And I think she was already.
Sucks.
I think she had some red beer already a little bit. So,
Yeah.
And then. I have a beard now, but I always had a goatee. And she said, but we have a problem. And she said, I'm trying to digest getting traded. And she says, you have to shave your goatee. We have no facial hair. Ooh. So remember, now we're talking about 4:45 in the morning. So
Yeah.
I said, get your players back. I'm not coming.
I ain't coming.
Yeah, I said, my kids have never seen me without, goatee. It's 1999. The late great Prince. 1999.
Yeah.
So it was. And I think, like I said, at that point I was still angry because the initial shock. Oh, you're gonna be here. The late great Tony Gwynn again. This is the one time that he came out and said, showed his frustration. And she called me back a couple days later and said, hey, go be you. You know what I mean? You know, the goatee has nothing to do with it. I'm a California kid.
Yeah.
You know, not too far from the Bay. You know, we do things different out there.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was just one of those situations where, you know, it had to run its course. But being a little bit older and, you know, going in the Reds Hall of Fame and hearing what they have said about me for just playing there 1 year, I went back to all the guys I could on the big red machine.
Yeah.
And I apologized to them because out of respect, I should have shaved my goatee because of what they went through for me.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, but I didn't understand it at that moment at 4:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But I did, you know, 15, 16 years later, and I went up to all of them, you know, that I've seen and, you know, said, I apologize. Out of respect, I should have shaved my goatee because, you know, it was a rule. And, you know, it was their legacy. The Big Red Machine were some of the best baseball teams ever assembled. The city, the fans, they embraced me, you know, and I think I was going through a little bit of rebellion, you know what I mean? And I do have some hippie in me, man, you know what I mean? I'm from California, so, you know, that's just part of it.
Yeah.
So,
Back to the goatee thing. So they ultimately changed the rule for you, right?
Yeah, they did.
So what was that like? Did just one day the coach just came up to you and was like, all right, you're good, you can keep it?
No, it was way before that. I mean, I didn't even get on a plane until all this stuff was ironed out.
Really?
Yeah, we had about 2 weeks before spring training, and, you know, I have 3 kids. They've never seen me without a goatee.
uh-huh.
Yeah, and then I started growing all this during COVID, and then now my chin hair is longer than the hair on my head.
Are you gonna bring back the goatee?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I said, I'm different, man. No telling. Next time I see you guys, it might be.
You might have the full beard out, and
Or it might be cleanly shaved.
you never know.
No, it would never be clean shaved. Ricky Rose might be way out here or something. I don't know.
But that's cool. All right, Greg. So on this podcast, we do use the acronym. Thank you, Priest. I was forgetting it. We do use the acronym BURN. So each letter means a different time in your life. So starting with B stands for beginning. So take me back to the beginning of your life, your childhood, your high school days. What was that like? Did you have any burn moments? Did you have multiple burn moments that happened to you during that time?
Oh yeah, I think that's where we're all, you know, where our foundation, you know, is, you know, we evolved from our, you know, the beginning. I think for me, I grew up in a very type A woman home personalities from my grandmother was 5'2", and she was all that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, my mother, my aunts, you know, my dad was a fireman, and you know, he's at work, and you know, but you know, back then the moms throughout our neighborhood, middle class, South Sacramento, they you know, they made the households go. You know what I mean? The moms were the rock. So I remember a lesson that I learned, and then if my kids watch this, they're probably rolling their eyes like, oh God, here we go again. No, but I mean, I truly believe this is a big moment in my life because my grandmother was from upstate New York, Poughkeepsie, but she's she's probably the most sports fanatic fan in our family. Uh-huh. So I have a cousin, Jerry Royster, that played in the big leagues, my cousin Mo, my cousin Ricky Reynolds, that's my mom's brother's son, same little league teams, all that. And me and Ricky were playing on a Pop Warner team because football is my first love. So I was playing on a Pop Warner team, and I rushed for like 200 yards. This is the All-Star game. Okay. 200 yards. I ran a kickoff back, got an interception. You know, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. But that was my day. That was my day. That was my day. And then at the end of the day, you know, when they were doing the trophies for the All-Star game, they said co-MVP. And I'm like, yeah, something must be wrong. Maybe I got hit in the head.
Tripping?
Yeah, I got hit in the head a little bit. So No, the quarterback that threw me the screen pass for a touchdown, the only thing he did, he got MVP for it.
Wow.
But it was in a predominantly affluent neighborhood in Sacramento, Carmichael. And so after the game, I'm walking off, and, my grandma's like, everything was, it was doubled up. Greg, what's wrong with you? I was like, Grandma, that's not fair, blah, blah, blah. She said, Greg, well, get your lip off the ground. It's time to eat, you know what I mean? And I said, Grandma, that's not fair. She said, what's not fair? I said, I did this, and she said, you made it too close.
Ooh.
I said, what? He didn't do X, Y, Z, blah, blah. You made it too close. So, they taught me a lesson to never be satisfied and always separate myself. And, it doesn't matter what I think. It's the lasting impression that you leave. Make it so dramatic that they can't, this can't happen again.
Yeah.
She said whether it was school, whether it was work, whether you're taking out the trash, be the best trash taker out you can. Whatever it is. You're going to clean the bathroom, clean it the right way. I learned from her that there's only one way to do things. Everything we do is only one way. Whatever that way that is, but as long as it's right. Just get it done right. Mm-hmm. So I learned that at an early age, and she goes, you know what? You're talking about fair. She goes, I was the first female supervisor at the Army Depot, a woman of color. So not only did I have people that weren't people of color disliking me, I also had people that looked like me that were males that disliked me. Wow. So she goes, I don't want to hear about fair. Mm-hmm. And I learned at an early age that separate yourself. Don't waste time.
Mm-hmm. So if your grandma didn't give you that advice, like you made it too close, do you think your competitiveness would be totally different?
No, because my mom was right behind her. That she was, my mom was right there. My aunts, and like I said, back when I grew up, it was a village. It was the high school secretary. It was the principal at the middle school. It was the neighbors down the street. When I grew up, everyone had respect for everyone. And we respected our elders also. So, it was a lot of people, that played a part in my life. For me, just sitting on this couch, forming a friendship with you guys. Because, it was a village for sure. It was a village, not one person, but there was a lot of people that meant a lot to me to put me in this position.
So having all those people behind you, when you finally made it to the MLB, was there ever a point where you just kind of sat back and were like, wow, I'm proud of what I did, and I'm proud that my mom and all these people behind me are proud as well?
Oh yeah, I knew they were proud. It goes back to grandma again though, man. Mm-hmm. I remember my cousin Ricky was covering Jerry Rice, and he had that streak going, and where he caught a pass in every game, and he caught like a 5-yard slant, one pass,
wow.
for a touchdown. Yeah. And he comes out the locker room, and he's like, Grandma. She's like, boy, you better start hitting somebody. You know what I mean? That's what she said. And then, and the same thing, going to Oakland, or her coming to Milwaukee. Gary Sheffield is my best friend, and, like my little brother. And, I mean, she cooked for us, stayed with me and Gary, and no matter what kind of game I had, boy, you better get back in that cage, or you better do this. She never let us be content. You know what I mean? But I mean, it was just a way of life. We were always, it wasn't work for us. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? To be able to play a sport and get paid for it, there's a lot of responsibilities that come with it. The pressure, the media, all that. But I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I mean, all the friendships, mm-hmm. that you form because of playing the sport. I mean, truly blessed, to be able to travel the world, and, I'm just a disciple, man, and I'm blessed. I'm just trying to touch as many people as I can.
Yes. Was there ever a time when you were like, how do I handle all this media? I don't even know how to talk about it. Just is this media too much for me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I think the one thing with me, I didn't have 3 or 4 different faces
Yeah.
I had one face, and you know what? Hey, there's plenty of times I walked up, or they're waiting at the locker, my locker, and hey, man, I sucked. I left a whole subdivision on base. You know, I got to play better. I mean, they have a job to do. I wasn't a person that really went out and read articles because I was blessed. I had Robin Yount, Paul Molitor, Dave Parker, Willie Randolph, Glenn Braggs, Mike Felder. I had a lot of guys, Rob Deere, a lot of guys that were before me that, you know, they have a job to do. So them same people that, you know, you're acknowledging and you're all happy when you're going good, they're gonna get you when you're going bad. And I didn't want to have that roller coaster ride, man. I already had enough Six Flags rides in my head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then playing sports, especially baseball, it's based on failure. I mean, for about a week, you're like, yeah, this is nice. All of a sudden, 2 months, you're like going straight downhill with no harness on. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, you almost lose like that drive.
yeah. So it's, you know, I guess if you treat them with respect, and for the most part, they'll treat you with respect, and, you know, they have a job to do. And, you know, sometimes I just think, you know, you might need 10 or 15 minutes after a tough game or a tough situation to, you know, calm down. So, you know, they're not the brunt of that reaction, you know, so, but yeah, I just answer the questions and keep it moving. There's going to be more questions tomorrow.
Yes.
Were there people around you that you said that you only had one face, but in the MLB, are there a lot of people that have multiple faces?
Well, when I was talking about the meeting, oh yeah, when I walked in, yeah, I was bringing people food. I was happy at 2:00. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, by 7:00, I turned into something else. I don't even know what it was. You know what I mean? Because you go from, you know, people say, well, they try, and I hear parents tell their kids, you know, when they're young, oh, they're trying. It doesn't take anything to try. To me, I think it's competing and trying is different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it didn't matter what you look like. You know, when we were growing up, everybody had that same mentality. I mean, whatever you're going to do, just be the best at it. You know what I mean? So to me, that's competing. You know what I mean? I'm not saying what to do or what you should do, but whatever it is, just be the best at it. Don't get outworked. You know, it doesn't take much effort to try.
Yeah.
I feel like that's funny you say that because my dad always had that memo growing up is like, there's always someone out there that's working harder than you. So whatever you do in life, just work as hard as you can at it, and that's all you can do. But I feel like a lot of people are content with just trying. Like they feel like if they just tried, then that's like good enough.
When you say that, I have a question for you. What are those people doing?
Not a lot. Yeah.
You know what? Because if you look at I'm a big historian, and I read and I research a lot of people that have whatever, you know, I want to use the term, their accomplishments are. I want to see what their brain is like. You know, in the middle of the night, they might come up with an idea. They get up. You know, their brain is always working. You know, they're not content or satisfied. You know, it's easy. But I just think we have to go back to, I mean, you guys are so much more gifted. I mean, when it comes to all of this, I mean, you guys can do this in your sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This,
Super grateful for this.
oh man, I'll probably be here for 2 months trying to do this to graduate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Put all this stuff together, but you know, it's just, you know, it's going back to they're content because I think they're getting rewarded for what do I get if I just try? What do
Participation trophy.
There you go.
Yeah,
what do I get
if
why would I try harder? I'm gonna get the same thing, you know. But we set them up for that.
Yeah. I mean, even you see in sports, like little kid sports, like everyone gets a trophy instead of
Hate it.
yeah.
It's the worst. Because then that's what it stems from is like, oh, just if I try, I get a trophy myself. And it's like, no, you only get a trophy if you win, if you're the best at it. So, but that's what always like keeps you driving. Like for me, I always wanted to win that trophy and be able to hold that trophy. And if I didn't, then that just made me work harder.
Yeah, my nephew, I went to a game. I went to a Little League game, a Little League season of games, right?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't win a game the whole year, and he got a trophy. I said, for what?
Did you make him throw it away?
Hey, he wasn't my son. My kids would have been pissed off. Yeah, but he wasn't my son. But he's gifted. He's a musician. He's gifted. In his own way. But I don't get it. I don't get the instant gratitude. I think what society's missing is. I have some friends on the PGA Tour, and I have some that have struggled, like all of us have struggled. And I remember my oldest son, Corey, he said to me, I wish I could hit a home run every single day. I said, dang, that'd be boring. He goes, no, it wasn't. I'll hit a home run every day. I said, you know why that'd be boring? Because there's no journey to that. You have to be able to enjoy the journey. The journey gets you to where you are right now.
Mm-hmm.
The journey's part of the process.
Yeah.
And that's what life is. So, we have to, not just embrace the good times. We have to take away, the lessons of the bad times and the good times.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And to be able to stay humble.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost anything to stay humble. It doesn't cost anything to be nice. It doesn't cost anything to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I did this, I did that today. You're supposed to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Even like how you were just saying right there, even for me, whenever I had my traumatic experience in 6th grade, getting burned and stuff like that, in that process, I became super humbled because knowing that anything can happen at any second. So always, I want to say before that, I was super sad. I just had nothing really to look forward to in life. And after that happened, every day I live with a smile on my face and treat it like it's my last.
But you know what? And like I said, we don't have to understand it, but he doesn't make mistakes. He picks you for a reason. You know what I mean? And we don't have to agree with it. We don't have to like it. But your journey is sitting on this couch, doing what you're doing, reaching out to other people because of what you've been through. And like I said, it's okay to get angry at God. It's okay to be mad at God. And we don't have to understand it. Like I said, I can feel you on that because when I was in Toronto and I got a call that my oldest was in the hospital at age 11 with diabetes. And, Toronto, you can't get a flight out. So now I have to go to the business center. I'm printing as much stuff. I'm like, diabetes, isn't that for fat old people? That's how ignorant I was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fat old people. And I'm like, wow. So I land back in California, straight to the hospital. I stayed there for a week, didn't even go home, whatever, just stayed with my guy for a week and tried to learn everything I could about it and try to be, even as torn as I was inside, I had to try to be the rock for everybody else, and especially for him. Mm-hmm. And I remember the pastor and the priest going into these other rooms on the kids' ward. And I said, Corey, I know we don't understand why this happened to you. And, I know inside, but I never heard him say, why me? But I know you're probably saying, why me? How come? But those kids over there that he's going in those rooms, they don't get a second chance. Yeah. So he picked you for a reason, too, to go out there and say, you know what? I have type 1 diabetes. If I take care of myself and do things the right way, be an example for the rest of the kids that have type 1. Now, everybody I know has type 1. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's crazy, and that's what my problem is with Big Pharma, though. You got kids and people in different regions and areas. I mean, really, insulin's that important? I mean, that expensive that they can't, they're going to die.
This portion of the Burn Factory podcast is sponsored by Phoenix Salon Suites. Please visit Phoenix Salon Suites at PHENIX Salons SALON Suites SUITES.com to find one near you.
That's actually leading us right into our next topic and Burn. You, unfortunate and I'm assuming that's very unfortunate for you and your son. Just talk about like the burn moments and that.
Well, for me, it was scary because I didn't know a whole lot about it. You know, you are what you eat, but then you're learning from fruit toast to, you know, the natural sugars to the unhealthy sugars to the highs, the lows, and you're hearing about all these kids that have, you know, their parents go upstairs and they're in a diabetic coma, you know, this and that. So after 5 days, that was the tough part. And then all of a sudden you get home. Now I got to scale out, trying to count out all the food. Yeah. And the season's still going right now, you know what I mean? So I'm like trying to count out the food and my ex at the time, you know, she's blaming herself, you know what I mean? So she's thinking it's her fault. So just trying to keep it together, right? So it was tough. And then you have to go, and Corey played football, basketball, baseball. He played everything. And trying to teach the guys what to look for, like the gloss in their eyes when they're low or their sugar levels are high. And it was a learning experience we're still learning.
Yeah.
You know, still learning. You know, like I said, I'll be learning until they put me in that ground. You know what I mean? I mean, there's so much to learn, you know, and I run from people that say they have it all figured out. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm not married, because I run from everything.
So during that time you were still playing, how did you like mentally put that aside when it was time to play and come on the field?
Well, it was time. I mean, you got to eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, that was my escape, you know, so to speak. But also, it was tough because, like I said, now I'm looking at him, or when he spends the night, knowing that every parent has, you know, his friends' parents have to know what to look for. And it was tough, but all we could do was, like I said, continue to educate Corey to the best of our knowledge, and to allow him to, you know, and I just told him the truth. Hey, dude, if you take care of yourself, you can live a healthy, productive life. If you don't, they can start chopping off stuff, and this is what can happen. Mm-hmm. You can start needing transplants. You know, I don't sugarcoat it. I believe in tell them the truth, and then, you know, go from there.
Yeah.
For him now, what is it like? Does it get better eventually, or is it all the same the entire time? Because I'm not very like educated on diabetes and how, like, I get like the different sugar levels and stuff like that, but to like a day-to-day life, is it constantly affecting him, like to this day?
Oh yeah. So there's two types of diabetics. So you have, which I thought, like me, old fat ones. That you take a pill. You
That's
know,
what I usually think too.
You know, you can take a pill for type 2 diabetes. Type 1, basically, your pancreas for no reason just stops working. That creates insulin. So now your insulin doesn't work. So now you either have to. You're insulin dependent. So you either have to inject yourself, or with and it's came a long way. It has come a long way as far as like Medtronic and pumps and CUs and all the stuff that you can just take your Apple Watch and put it up here and it'll give you your blood sugar. But if you wear a pump, that pump is acting as your
insulin
and acting as your pancreas.
Oh, okay.
So does he wear a pump?
It's like that thing, right, where you just like keep it like the
little patch,
like the little patch.
The patch is the one that reads your
okay, that's
blood.
okay.
But the pump is the one that's inserted in you somewhere on your body that creates insulin to go through your body.
So your son does have that?
Yeah, he goes back and forth. He's on the pump. He goes on the pump, and then he is off of it. And he says, Dad, since I've been 11, I mean, I've had things all over my body my whole life, and he's a fireman now, making calendars, 6'4", doing his thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but he talks about it. He doesn't hide it. I'm proud of him.
Yeah.
Corey's done an outstanding job. He's gave me a beautiful grandson, and like I said, I don't think God makes mistakes. It's not easy, but Corey has done I think what he's supposed to have done with it, he's led by example. He's been on Children's Congress. He's gone to talk and speak and, bring awareness to it. And also, let kids know and talk to kids and parents that are struggling, that are having hard times, because a lot of kids weren't as lucky as I am as far as dealing with it and what it's done to their family and their homes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like it's really good that he's like talking about it and stuff, because I feel like it wasn't like it was meant for him to have it so he could help other people. Like for him, it was meant that he got burned so that he could start this podcast, he could start his foundation and help other kids get through it that might have not handled it as well as obviously they have.
Yeah.
So I think it's really cool that like you guys have your foundation and everything, and I'm just super proud of like him and you obviously trying to shed love to all these people during these hard times.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. But it's people like you guys, and it's a testament to your foundation. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, my village has always been there for me. And without my village, I'm not sitting there, talking to you guys.
Yeah.
And I can see your village, is proud of, they're very proud of you guys. And, that's what it's all about, man. It's all about, the foundation. If you don't put the rebar in the house is going to fall down.
Yeah.
I don't care how much cement you put in it. The house is going to fall down. You put the rebar in the foundation can be nice and strong, and, we just go from there.
Yeah.
But you guys, it's a testament to be so young and to be so humble and to have life values and have perspective of life. Like you said, you're grateful for being here. There's so many people of us walk around acting like the world or people owe us something. No one owes us anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a blessing and an honor to wake up every single day. Now, what we do with that, that's on us.
Yeah.
And how we decide to spend our time and concentrate our wokeness on. That's the new word, wokeness. That's we just got to make good choices, and you guys are going in the right direction, and hopefully you guys will come out and play in my golf tournament July 24th.
Yeah, we will.
Best believe we'll be there.
Bring your son too.
Does he play?
Not really. No,
Not really?
No, he's. Both my boys. No, my daughter plays.
Okay.
Yeah, my daughter plays. My sons, they'll bang it around, and then they'll hang out.
Out there for a good time.
Yeah, they're all for a good time.
All right. Well, that was very unfortunate what your son has gone through, and obviously you've gone through it as well. But we're gonna move into R. It's a little more fun. All those years in the MLB, all those away series and stuff. R stands for ridiculous. So was there like a ridiculous burn moment that happened to you? A fan asked you a question. You play in the outfield. You probably got heckled by fans. Like, is there some burn moment that sticks out?
Or even in college too.
Yeah, just anything.
In college, I was in center field. That was cake. But,
Well, you went to the University of Miami?
yes, sir.
Miami. Okay, this is a question. In Miami, there's hot girls everywhere. Was there a burn moment on trying to stay focused on baseball while you got all these hot girls around you at the University of Miami?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a good one. But you know what, though? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But I know I was 3,000 miles away from home. I did like the hot girls.
Yeah.
But, I knew I couldn't waste time, and I had to be able to implement the hot girls with the baseball.
Yeah.
and keep the boundaries, draw some lines in the sand and, go from there. But someone always told me this too. I like that question. So you take Miami, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then take where I was trying to go. The big leagues or the NFL. They say they get hotter and hotter as you go up.
That's true. The higher you go, the hotter.
I had a late trainer tell me that, Johnny Adams. Johnny, it gets better.
It does get better. Is it true? You've been there.
Hey, I don't know.
I think I want to switch my profession to baseball.
Now you're fine, trust me. Good people are good people. Hey, I'm a karma guy. You can walk out in this hallway and find the love of your life
That's true.
if you're open to it.
Love at first sight.
No, we got a long way to go with that. We'll hang out a little bit first.
Yeah, you got to show them a good time.
You gotta be respectful and all that.
But back to the ridiculous thing. There's got to be some ridiculous moment that happened.
Oh, every day was ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, from how's your wife and my kids to, you're a bum. I mean, there's so much stuff that was said. A lot of stuff, most of the stuff happens in the clubhouse, but you can't really say, you know what I mean? I mean, the stuff in the clubhouse, that's it. I mean, and even when you retire, people, the people that I've spoken to and myself, it was, do you miss playing? No, because my body doesn't hurt right now. But you miss the guys. You spend so much time on buses and the locker room and the hotel rooms and, going to battle, with these guys, every single day. That's what you miss. Yeah. And I think that's what the game of golf allows me to do, to be able to still compete and talk nonstop mess with the guys out, and because as a competitor, I mean, I have my own wine label. I have a lot of different, Restore Hyper Wellness Centers. I have, I don't know, other wellness stuff to get you by.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
We got that.
23 wines to mellow you out at night, then to make you sleep good.
Is there a particular
G7.
wine you like?
Oh yeah, 23 wines. Anything. That's my label.
23 wines.
Yeah, 23wines.com. Yeah. So it's just, you just got to keep your, for me, keeping my mind active. But I've been gone so much and doing so much this year that I'm gonna hang out with you guys and play golf. And
let's do it.
Do it.
Yes, we got to.
We'll do it for sure. But you talked about your hyper wellness thing. I saw it. I was checking it out. But what is it? I saw it has you put your legs in those things.
Compression.
Compression for your legs. But what does it ultimately do, and what are some of the benefits of it?
Well, for me, coming from the University of Miami, where it's 150 degrees every single day, and you're on AstroTurf, the only way you can get your body back is to sit in a cold tub. So you sit in a cold tub, and that's torture.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever. That's torture.
No, my dad just ordered a cold plunge. Have you heard about those things?
Yeah.
So it's no ice. It's just water, and it gets I think 12 degrees colder than an ice bath, and it circulates. So when you kind of get numb in the ice bath, this you never get numb. So it's coming soon, and we're gonna be doing it a lot.
I ain't gonna be doing it.
Never. You got to get numb. What do you have to get numb. That's genetics. You're gonna, but there's no ice. I know they have the ice. I don't know. They fill these up with ice,
okay.
in a barrel.
The old school way.
Yeah, 38 degrees in a barrel. So you sat there, you get in there, and you got to put something over your toes. But I sat in there every day because I had shoulders. So now we have a cryo machine that gets negative 200 or something. Do that in 3 minutes. I have estheticians can do hydrofacials, do anything you want done to your face and.
So is it all based on cold temperature?
No. Then we have infrared saunas.
Oh, okay.
Hyperbaric chambers.
You got it all.
Then I have every IV. So I have every football, the Raiders, Raiderettes.
Yeah.
All the colleges, high school teams. Because it's all about recovery. So if I can recover, where I sat in that cold tub for 15 to 20 minutes, I'm already on to the next. You can do the red light therapy. After that, you can move on and you get IV drips and everything put in you. I'm all about recovery and being efficient.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's the most important thing because you're breaking down your body so much. You got to give it time to rest. And a lot of people don't do that. And then a lot of injuries and nagging injuries come about.
Yeah, our old age. Yeah, all that.
Especially when you're like young too and playing like football or something like that, because football is very limited and all about recovery. So you can have another 6 years on top of the 6 years you just played.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's just not football. You know, runners. We get a lot of people that run. We get a lot of CrossFit people. We get a lot of people that do marathons. That's the worst sport ever. You know, pounding on the cement.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like shin splints. Oh.
I hate running. MMA fighters. You know, we get a lot of them.
Yeah.
okay.
You know, I mean, anything you can do to help recover and get you back in to be able to train at the highest performance, your highest peak the next day. You know, that's what it's all about. So, and then you go home and drink 23 wines.
Yeah, and just chill.
Was there ever like a ridiculous person that did a ridiculous sport that came into one of the wellness centers?
Oh yeah, when you see these UFC fighters and they come in, and especially like after they're all cut up and stitched up, and they want to do the red light therapy to help heal the scars and all that stuff. Yeah, man, not the moneymaker, man. You can't get the moneymaker.
That's brutal.
Yeah, that's so brutal.
They're sure entertaining. We're actually going to fights on Saturday. They're here.
Fights are the best. Dang,
Yeah, UFC's here.
Yeah, you know,
T-Mobile.
I live here, but I'm going to Cabo to try to play some good golf.
Yeah.
What golf course you playing?
I'm playing Diamante. It's the duel in Diamante. American League against the National League.
Okay.
We'll have to
we
check
played
it out.
I think it's Cabo de Sol. Have you heard of that one?
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good course. We played it a few years ago.
Tiger has a couple of courses out there.
Really? Oh, I think, yeah, I knew that. We got to go back on a trip out there and play.
We went there for a cruise. We stopped there. We were on a cruise and we stopped there and played some golf. And yeah, but we need to go.
Fun. It was fun.
Nice, yeah. A little tuna fishing and golf. That's
Tuna
perfect
fishing?
for me.
Do you
You're a
fish
fish-
a lot?
Oh, yeah.
I'm a freshwater fisherman.
You don't like fish with teeth?
Fish with teeth scare me. I can't. I'm like, ooh.
He won't
like-
even grab the hook out of it because he's so scared. Even
Well,
a
yeah,
fish
with
without
teeth.
teeth.
No, that's not true. I caught like a 4-pound bass. I forgot this like 2 years ago, and haven't been fishing since. But I sit out there, took the hook off, and threw it in the water.
Oh, there you
So
go, yeah.
I'm not afraid of taking the hook off.
I tell you, fish with teeth, though, there's no live heroes, man.
Yeah.
You're right. Don't take the hook out with the fish with teeth.
I was on Instagram Reels the other day, and you have Instagram, right?
Yeah, I don't know how to work it there.
But anyways, there's like a Reels page, and some guy caught like a saltwater fish with teeth on it, and he went down to like try to like kind of like, I forget, like you like gill something, like
Yeah, you
hold
got
it
it by the gills.
You hold it by the gills, and he like accidentally stuck his index finger in there and chopped it off.
I do marlin and sail fishing, and those guys, you know, when they come up, I've been on boats where the things went right through their hand. Oh, gosh.
And they have a hole permanently right there.
Yeah, I've seen guys get scarred on the face. Yeah, those fish are strong.
That's why I don't fish.
Especially
fish.
saltwater.
I don't know if it's weird. I have the patience for a 4-hour golf round, but I don't have the patience to sit there and wait for a fish to grab a hook.
But it's a relaxing. You just sit there and just.
How old are you?
19.
You got other things on your mind right now, but
Yeah. Watch. Eventually,
change.
one day we'll all just be fishing out there.
It'll change.
But it's also because I suck. Like I've gone with my friends a few times. I'm just terrible.
That's
The
right.
line
You
gets
suck
all
at fishing.
line gets all tangled and have to untangle it.
Well, maybe it's the company you're fishing with.
Maybe.
They let someone teach you how to fish, and then take you and put you on some fish.
Okay, then you can you can teach me how to fish. Not
There you
him.
go.
He's a horrible teacher at anything. But
Bro,
I'll
what?
let him teach me.
How many fish have you caught in your life?
That's what I'm
Zero.
saying. I suck. I'm
Yeah.
just saying you're not a good teacher.
Okay, I have a deal.
I don't want to waste my time teaching you when I'm trying to catch fish myself. Because I want to be the better fisherman than him. That's why.
So that's bragging rights. I get
Yeah.
it.
But that's the only thing you're better than me at. He's not better than me at golf. That's for sure.
Cap. Cap.
Is that like facts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like a lie.
So I'll teach you how to fish.
'Kay.
You teach me how to work Instagram, because all these people keep saying you have tremendous content, but come with me and you can do X. I don't believe. I don't believe people. I mean, I shouldn't say I don't believe people, but I don't
believe those.
They're mostly like bots. They're like, oh, we can promote your page. Do you get like those messages?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, don't pay attention to a lot of them, but we'll show you how to work, because the real thing is funny. It's all videos, so you can just keep swiping and you see some crazy stuff. Like I've seen some gnarly stuff on there.
But see, I don't like doing. I have to do about myself.
No,
It's just like you watch
other
people.
stuff.
Yeah.
Other people post other things.
Yeah, I'd rather not have myself doing it.
Oh yeah.
I don't like selfies. I don't like.
Yeah, I'm not a big selfie guy either.
I do have a question going back to baseball. What is it like hitting a home run? What's like the satisfaction in that?
Not everyone can do it.
Yeah.
And I think it depends on the situation. You know what I mean? Did it help your team win? Did it win the game?
Mm-hmm.
Was it a walk-off?
Yeah.
Does it feel different? Like, do you instantly know?
Pretty much I knew, yeah. I mean, but then sometimes, I don't know, sometimes, you can trick yourself. But like I said, I grew up in an era when if we didn't run hard and run everything out, I had to answer to my teammates that were waiting for me in the dugout. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there was no guys thought they hit a home run and got a single. We got a double, and it could have been it could have been a triple, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But
he stopped on you.
But we got a double. The guys now think they get one and they get a single.
You see that a lot. Even just like pop outs, and they just jog to first base. Like, you never know if they could drop it or something.
I can't tell you how many times I'm watching the Nationals game, the Washington Nationals, and this guy hits like a perfect like line drive kind of like right down the third baseman, and it's just like he starts slowly running. He's like, dude, run faster. I'm trying to yell at the TV.
Yeah, it's like I said, man, there's only one way to play, and everything else is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a generational way of playing now. And like I said, these guys are gifted. I'm not taking anything away from them. It's just different.
Yeah.
Do you think the direction that baseball's going in is good or bad?
I think if you go back and look at all the winners the last few years, they say us old timers, we don't like analytics. That's not true. We believe analytics has a part to play with it. But if you look at every team that has won, Dusty's like my godfather. So I hate it rooting for the Astros. Shout out to Dusty, the godfather. Love you. I mean, that's my man.
I'm happy he won.
Yeah,
good for him. Good for him.
And you know what? He finally is going to get his due. I mean, this is the only man I know that wins 100 games every year and gets fired. And guys win 60 games and they get extensions. You know what I mean? So that's what's wrong with baseball, one. Two is baseball players coach baseball players. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You got to have people that play the game. A guy that's never, it's easy to sit on a computer and say, oh, you should do this, 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 and this. But I'm like, it's not that simple. And I just feel like baseball's intimidated by bringing players back. Like when I grew up and I came into the game, we had baseball. Ben Ogilvy, Gorman Thomas, Cecil Cooper. I mean, we had people that played the game teaching us. We knew how to go first to third. But now they filled the organizations with a bunch of yes men that say, you know what, we can pay you whatever we want, we can say whatever you want, and we don't need your input because we know it all. But the teams that are winning, you look at their coaching staffs, you look at their front office. They have analytics now, but that knowledge in that dugout, that knowledge that are teaching these kids in the farm system are being taught by baseball people. You know what I mean? they're being taught by baseball people, but analytics are still part of it. A lot of organizations, they will not have baseball people around for nothing.
Wow.
We want to get off as cheap as we can, and we don't care what you think.
That's tough. That's so interesting how technology is like been good for baseball, but actually very bad as well. Because I see like a lot of times, like you'll just watch a game and the manager will pull the pitcher based off of numbers and not actually like a game scenario.
Yeah, you don't see Dusty doing that. You don't see Bochy doing that.
That's why they win.
You know, analytics, you know, Dave Roberts, you know, they tried to get Dave. Dave had a little bit more to say, and he wanted. And I grew up a Giants fan, played for the Padres. I hate the Dodgers.
Yeah.
But I wanted Dave Roberts to win a World Series because analytics almost made him look like a fool.
Yeah.
Taking these pitchers out after one pitch, and it's so much. You got to go by a feel. You got to go by a hunch. Sports are, you know, it's a feeling. It's a, you know your players. You spend time with them. You know who's right for the right job at the right time, and there's not a computer alive that can tell you that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to not play my best player because he's left-handed and they have a left-handed pitcher.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He's my best player for a reason.
Yeah. Back in the day, did you ever see that like stuff now compared to like back then or now?
No, I don't think so. And like I said, I think there's a place for it, but you know, I tell kids all the time. I said, the velo, the velo, the exit velo. I said, dude, if I popped up to the catcher, excuse my language, how old are you?
Old enough.
If I popped up to the catcher, that's horse velo. If I hit the ball, a line drive off the gate, that's great velo.
Yeah.
What do I need a computer to tell me that for?
You instantly know.
You know how many, if you square one up, but they're still getting, you know, so caught up in all these numbers. Oh, the ball came, I mean, we hit the ball hard too. If it went to him, it would, you know, it was a one hopper with great exit velo. I mean, what is that?
Yeah.
It was an out.
Yeah.
You squared it up. You know, get him next time, kid. You know what I mean? But now we're trying to make it so much about the numbers that we're forgetting about the game.
Yeah.
I mean, you start with a guy on second base in extra innings, and you got guys that went to Harvard, Yale telling you, do not bunt him over. Let's play 20 innings and waste all our pitching because we can't get a guy to third base and a ground ball wins.
Yeah. Insane.
Or an out's an out and a strikeout's a strikeout. So I guess, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, hopefully more teams, you know, will start bringing baseball guys back. Because, like I said, the teams that are winning have baseball people.
That's true.
You know, you can say Moneyball, you can say all that other stuff. The teams that are winning have baseball people coaching them, teaching them every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super interesting about technology, but we got to move back on. Last letter in Burn is N, so it stands for now and next, kind of like two parts. So for you, are there any Burn moments going on right now in your life or some Burn moments that you see in the future?
Yeah, hopefully, you know, just trying to, you know, be the best version of me, you know what I mean, and my foundation, and to be able to help people and to touch as many lives as I can and these kids. You know, during COVID, you know, we were able to feed over 1 million, you know, people, you know.
Congrats.
Thank you. My foundation, I just don't want it to be for type 1 diabetes. I want it to be whatever is going on in society at that point. And, you know, growing up in the state of California, it's appalling, and it's mind-boggling to me that some school districts don't have enough funds to help kids with distance learning. So we have to go out and buy Chromebooks. We have to go out and buy whiteboards. We have to go out and buy hotspots. You know what I mean? And so whatever the calling is, that's what Vaughns Valley Foundation is going to do. Mm-hmm. And so that's my next. Every day, the wine, the reason I got into the wine, I love wine, right? So to back up a step, I did not want people to get sick during the pandemic. So I did not want to have my annual golf tournaments or comedy shows. I had to come up with another way to do the wine. So E2 family and Brett and the Ehlers family, who are like family to me, we partnered and we formed and created some great wines that have taken off. I mean, almost to a point of too good of taking off.
Yeah.
Now we have to keep up, but that money goes back to the foundation. It doesn't. I don't see any of it. It goes back to the workers, but it also goes back into the communities. And everywhere that I've been, that's my community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In any city, everywhere I've been, if they needed help, that's my community.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the wine is for. To help try to raise money to touch as many people as we can. Mm-hmm. And give them a chance, because I don't get how we can have the 5th largest economy in the world and our kids can't get Chromebooks in the school district. I don't get it.
Yeah. Were there any burn moments starting your foundation? Like, maybe I should do this or maybe I shouldn't?
Oh, yeah, for sure, because I hate asking people. Here I am, an athlete, and, and everyone says what I should be doing, right?
Yeah.
But then when you go out and you try to, I'm uncomfortable asking people for things. I don't like, I'll find a different way. I don't like asking people for assistance or help. I mean, I'll get it done a different way, even if I have to use my own funds or do whatever I have to do. So I try to surround myself around people. I have the pool resource group, Amy and Bob, like it's the E2 family, winery, great people. It's just a situation where I don't want to be the voice of that.
Yeah.
I have this great distributors for the wine now. Jeff Pappison, and his family. Even selling wine, I can't, go in a restaurant and be like, they'd be like, oh yeah, I love your wine. You should have it here. I was like, no, you want to talk price point? I'm going to talk price point. You know what I mean? So and then sometimes I go back in that same restaurant that I gave a break.
Yeah.
And now they done tripled the bottle of wine. You know what I mean? And I'm like, which is fine. You know what? It is what it is. But at the same time, I'm just trying to touch as many people as I can.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just
That's
always,
awesome.
always about putting a smile on someone's face.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, Greg. Well, you just spelt burning your life. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Tell the viewers where they can find your foundation, your wine.
Everything.
Everything. Anything Greg Vaughn 23 on all your social media outlets, networks. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. 23wines.com, Vaughns Valley Foundation.org. We have donate buttons. We have golf tournaments. Don't be shy. Get involved. Gary Payton we have everybody out. It's a good time.
We'll definitely be there. On this podcast, you do have to call out someone to come on next. So who would you like to call out?
Speaking of that, we're in Las Vegas, right?
Sir.
C-Dub, Charles Woodson. I'm calling you out to come on.
Charles Woodson.
Oh, you heard him, Charles Woodson? Come on
Woodson.
the podcast.
That'd be awesome.
He's a great guy.
Yes.
Oh,
All right, Charles, you better come on.
Yeah.
We'll hold you accountable for that.
You heard Phoenix. All right, Greg, as a gift from us for you coming on the podcast, we will be giving you the Black Label Edition Burn Factory hoodie. And keep in mind, only people who are guests on the podcast can only get this.
Yeah, that's what's up. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Love it. Love it.
Yes, cool.
Okay, and on behalf of having me on the show, I have something for you guys. There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Is that All-Star?
Yes, sir. San Diego.
All-Star jersey.
You guys are San
from
Diego
the man,
guys.
Greg Vaughn.
Green is my favorite color, by the way.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh, thank you so much, Greg. I really appreciate this.
We'll frame a Burn Factory hoodie and give it to you back.
Yeah, we'll sign it.
But that's awesome. We'll definitely hang that up in our Burn Factory loft when we get home. But
Like
That's
always,
awesome.
please visit my foundation at priestjamesfoundation.org. Again, priestjamesfoundation.org to understand why this is called the Burn Factory.
See you for the next episode.